My friends, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for responding to my call for aid. YouTube is now reportedly placing a heavy emphasis on viewer engagement, saying that views without engagement count less or not at all with the algorithm. I shared this info with you and you responded in outstanding fashion, rallying to our banner here at the center of the earth. But the fight is not over. Please keep helping us out by clicking the like button on videos, leaving a comment, subscribing, or even sending a super thanks, as all of these count as viewer engagement and help us keep going on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support, my friends. And now, on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, broadcasting from my hidden base at the center of the Earth, and I am here today to salute DC for listening to fans and actually making changes to address our complaints in the digital release of Superman. Yes, my friends, it seems that DC and Gunn have edited Superman to fix something that has driven fans crazy since the movie was released in July. Can you believe it? This is something that very rarely happens in Hollywood these days, if indeed it has ever happened, revising a project after release based on consumer feedback. Listening to customer complaints at all, much less making them right, is almost unprecedented these days. Can you imagine Disney making edits to The Acolyte or Kenobi to make those shows suck less for fans? Of course, there's only so much they could do in both those cases because the suck was woven into the very fabric of those projects. I mean, if you edited out everything fans hated about The Acolyte, you'd be left with damn near nothing. You'd have to call it the Ack. If you cut the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, shit, all you've got is Darth Gimp and a limp lightsaber. And yet, wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, DC has edited the digital version of Superman to eliminate the thing that alienated fans and stirred up a lot of shit online: the corruption of Superman's Kryptonian parents. As you recall in the movie, the weird prickly nanobot girl that I hated hacked into Superman's crystal VCR deck and found a message to Superman from his parents on Krypton. Essentially, that message was revealed to be something along the lines of, "Kal-El, what is best in life? To crush humanity, see them driven before you, and make hot 70s porno montages with as many of their women as possible.
Walk it down, Tita, walk it down, Tita, walk it down. Oh, Superman!"
Essentially, take over the planet, get yourself a super harem, and go to town. Which really pissed me off because when I saw that, I said to myself, hey, that's my plan. How the hell did James Gunn rip off my master plan? Plus, you know I'm a supervillain and Superman is a superhero. What the hell gives here?
Dude, the whole world thought that. Jor-el sent his only son to Earth to save Kal-El from Kryptonian apocalypse, which I had nothing to do with, sadly, but also to be a hero and help mankind. This was a retcon where probably Gunn was thinking, let's make the Kryptonians a warrior race, so later when Zod and all his ilk show up, they're not renegades or criminals, they're conquerors.
Yeah, I can see how Gunn was probably trying to weave some future threads into the story to exploit later, and I think it was also trying to make a point here. Just like the Iron Giant was sent to Earth programmed to conquer it originally, but then learned our values and became a hero after finding a human friend, I felt like Gunn was making a statement similar to Sarah Connor's "No fate but what we make." In other words, being raised in a decent home of traditional morals by the Kents, Superman embodied the best American ideals in his character, and that's what makes him even more heroic. He turns away from his dark origins and chooses a path of honesty, decency, and compassion over power, despite being powerful enough to rule the world, all because of his character and the way he was raised. Nurture over nature. But regardless of the motivations and intentions and plans that Gunn may have had, fans hated this plot point in Superman, and I don't blame them. It went against established canon, and lots of Snyder fans in particular jumped on this like a dog with a bone, using it as a vulnerability to latch onto the movie and drag it down to the ground. But the most remarkable part of this whole episode is James Gunn listened to the fans. And now, apparently, all of that has been changed with the digital release of Superman. The X account, DC Film News, posted the following: Superman's parents' message may have been altered. The Daily Planet shows Luthor was behind the false images of Superman's parents' message, claiming that. And take a look at this screen cap from the digital release.
Son of a bitch. You know, in the movie, they were pretty adamant that the message instructing Superman to be fruitful and multiply with as many Earth women as possible as he takes over the world was accurate and unaltered. Hell, when asked, Mr. Terrific confirmed the message wasn't altered. It was real. They went to great pains to establish Superman's Kryptonian parents were assholes. So what changed, I wonder?
Well, what changed is they listened to fans and fixed this moving forward, Harvey Cthulhu. Listen, to err is human, to forgive divine. Having this headline is concrete proof they've decided to retcon this out of canon, and good riddance. But even more importantly, it shows that DC moving forward is going to function differently than Marvel and Disney. They may make mistakes, but when they do, they're willing to listen to fans and correct them if they can. In other words, DC wants to give fans what the fans want. A very radical notion in 2025 when most motion picture studios embrace the Sam Spade credo,
when you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
I believe what this shows is DC respects fans. And on a channel whose motto is without respect, we reject, that means a lot.
Indeed, the corollary of that also pertains in this case. With respect, we accept. Creative people make mistakes. You can't be creative and push the envelope and engage in play if the moment you slip and make an error, you know you'll be punished for it. These days are unforgiving, and cancel culture has hardened the national psyche. We must be forgiving when efforts are made to correct mistakes. Otherwise, the asshole is us.
I agree entirely, O Skull of Calderon. Again, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, these entities have never addressed fan complaints. Their attitude seems to be, you don't like it, shove it. Whereas DC simply fixes the error as best they can, proving they're listening. But it also demonstrates how much is right in Superman. Because as I pointed out, a simple edit can fix this mistake. Nothing can fix the Acolyte, or Book of Boba Fett, or Kenobi. DC clearly cares about what fans want. No wonder the rest of Hollywood hates Zaslav and Warner Brothers. Those guys remember one important business rule: the customer is always right. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.